He's getting there.
It sounds a little bit like Dad. They always say Daddy first.
No, he's been saying Mama for like
Oh yeah.
9 months. Yeah.
He comes out the womb, Mommy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I can't remember if I think Lila. I can't remember if she said Mommy or Daddy first. I think she might have said Daddy first. Typically, I know kids tend to say Daddy first because it's easier, I guess, to make like
Right.
Dad than Mama, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, let me just pull up YouTube, just waiting to pop. Alright, we're streaming, I'm just waiting to populate a bit.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully my mic doesn't cut in and out. Because that's the only reason why I was really having...
last week.
How'd last week go?
It wasn't too bad. It started real slow because I thought you were coming.
Yeah.
So I was like, Chaz is coming. And then you weren't. So it was like, okay. And then I was like, all right, guys, I guess I'll just stream. And if you have questions, ask them. And
right.
Literally nobody was there. So then Carly logged into YouTube and started asking me stupid questions.
That's hilarious.
And then Jared started doing that. And then some random kid started asking really stupid stuff, and then Erica had some mods in his comments, so it was fun. It wasn't too bad. The kid, I forget his name now, but he got mad because I kept just saying homie instead of like saying his actual name.
That's
He's
hilarious.
like, don't call me homie.
Oh God! All right, homie. No props,
it was like
Holmes.
John Darth Vader or something like that.
But, that guy? That's funny.
Yeah. He wasn't being too bad. He said something. I forget. He was like, "Oh, you're married," and then I said, "Yeah, don't talk trash to my wife." And he said something, and Erica deleted the comment.
Oh, jeez.
Like,
yeah. Gotta love the internet.
It was fun. I mean, I played like a couple rounds of Death Star. Erica started prompting me some good questions, and Carly asked a couple too. They asked about that whole Disney thing that you posted about today. And,
yeah, I thought that was funny. Amber comes in and she's like, "So Adam doesn't agree with you at all." It's like nice.
Yeah, I don't think that's that big a deal, honestly.
Why is that?
And I talked about it on the stream last week because, well, I mean, Disney has all the cards. Like, they should get to do what they want. It's kind of like George Lucas with the prequels. Like, he paid with his blood, sweat, and tears to be able to make the prequels how he wanted to make them.
Right.
Disney paid billions of dollars for just this exact privilege, like to do what they want and make the money they want to make. They're not asking for anything that crazy.
Aren't they asking for like
65% of the tickets?
That's a lot.
But the going average is 55%, so that's a big increase.
Yeah, that's a 10% increase. That's a lot.
But how much money are you going to make on Star Wars? I mean, let's be honest. And then,
that's true.
And then they're just saying don't do specific things that most studios already don't ask you not to do. If you don't do those things, then we won't charge you more.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like the promo material stuff, I agree with you. Like, yeah, that's obvious. Like, don't use promo stuff early. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like, that makes sense.
The requirement to play it on your biggest screen for the first 4 weeks of its launch, you're gonna do that anyway.
You're gonna do that anyway. Yeah.
The only unheard of request is the extra 10%, and that is a big bump, but you're gonna make up way more than that on Star Wars. So
I think the only thing like I saw that I was like, that doesn't seem. Oh, of course, defeat immediately. Like the only thing I saw that was kind of like, I kind of could see how like theater owners would be annoyed. It was like that. There was that one guy talking about how like in his town he's like the only theater, and it's like a one screen type situation or two screen type situation. So he can basically only play Star Wars, and he's like, well, everyone in my town is going to see it within the first... And obviously, I know this is a minority, so, like, this isn't, shouldn't be the standard. But
that's what I was going to say. I could see that happening, but at the same time, they're not saying you can only play Star Wars on your largest screen. You just have to play it on your largest screen for 4 weeks. So, like, you can do Star Wars at 7 and 9 and some other random movie at 6.
Right.
If you only have one screen, you're going to run into this problem when a Star Wars movie comes out, regardless of what Disney says. Like, if you want to make any money on ticket sales when you have a 2-theater cinema, you have to play Star Wars around the clock anyway. So, like, that here is not who Disney's concerned about, I don't think. I think Disney's much more worried about, you know, Hoyts and AMC. Is it Hoyts even around? Regal and AMC and
yeah, I don't know if Hoyts is around anymore. It's been a while
all
since
these
I've been to Hoyts.
O'Neill, all these giant theaters. I think is what Disney's thinking. And honestly, I read some quote from like a theater executive who said that like this is basically the most power a studio has had since like 1930s MGM, and this is what we get to see them do. Honestly, I think they're testing the waters, and if it goes like they want it to go, they'll probably do this with like Marvel movies. Like I could see them doing this with Infinity War or Episode 9, or you know, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So if people are already upset, I think they've got to pace themselves to be upset for a lot longer.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, the only like I was just a little annoyed because my thing is like Lucasfilm bashers are like people love to bash Lucasfilms. Yeah, and so like that was my biggest thing was like making that separation. Like this isn't Lucasfilms making these decisions. This is Disney. Like those are two. Like it's not Lucasfilm saying they're the one who wants to pull this money. So like for people who are going to be like, oh, look at George Lucas making another cash grab. It's,
George Lucas.
It has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with George Lucas himself. But Lucasfilms, I could see being upset with because they are basically the same entity at this point. But but I personally, like I said, more power to them. If you have that kind of power, you may as well swing it around. Like, people are gonna go see it. Like, it's not gonna stop me from seeing Star Wars.
Oh no, it's not gonna stop me from seeing it at all. Like, I mean,
if you're a theater that doesn't want to do that, then
you're gonna lose out on a crap ton of money.
It's like talking about the bars that don't want to play NFL games for a whole different reason, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a similar conversation. If you want to say no to 90% of your customers for 6 months or whatever, then that's your prerogative. Like, you're not going to survive business very long. So I don't see it as a big issue. I think that it's more likely that it won't really matter that much in the long run. Theaters are going to make more money by playing Star Wars than they would if they didn't. So I think that pretty much ends the conversation from the 65% side of the argument. And I could see, like, I guess if they get, like I said, if they violate any of those other rules, Disney said that they'll charge 70%, which is pretty high. But at the same time, don't violate the rules. Like, that's not new. Like, non-disclosure agreements on marketing and stuff, that's all old news. So I think it's not as big a deal as people want it to be.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think obviously it doesn't really impact us as viewers very much at all. It's more of just like it impacts. Like the only way it might impact you is if your local theater decides not to pick it up, so now you have to like maybe travel to go see it. Other than that, though, it really isn't going to affect like the average viewer.
I think like the Joe Schmo who is on like a country road in Iowa with there's like a theater for 100 miles doesn't care about Star Wars that much anyway. For the most part.
That's also true, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to hear arguments on it. I just think that most people who are reacting like initially and emotionally to it are not really thinking about it that much. I mean, or are overthinking it maybe.
Yeah, and I think
I think it's that big a deal.
Yeah, I think I agree with you too. Where it's like Disney does have that prerogative to be able to like make those decisions now,
right,
and be able to like say like, all right, we're gonna charge the 65%. Yeah,
billions of dollars for this.
Oh,
I'm gonna do what I want with it.
And I mean, let's not be. And I mean, like, and at the end of the day, like, I mean, it is about money. It is about like, and I was saying just to a buddy the other day, like, I don't mind spending extra, like, I don't mind spending money on toys and comic books and video games and this and that, because all it does is make more money for the company to put better, like, more effort into the next movie that's coming out or into whatever next entity, and that's awesome for me. So, like, to know that they're taking a higher percentage, to me that just means, all right, well, they're just collecting more money for the next movie that comes out that they can do even better.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's Disney. They don't need our money. They're just taking more off the top. It's not like
because they know they're going to make it. It's Star Wars. They know they're going to make it. I mean, like The Force Awakens broke tons of records. So
gamble. So I mean, if it were like even Infinity War, this would be a gamble. So,
no, this is guaranteed money. Guaranteed money.
Exactly. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's much more likely that you start to see it happen with things like Infinity War, or maybe like The Lion King, or you know.
I could see maybe The Lion King
films.
if it stays as hype as it's been from because I'm excited for The Lion King. Like The Lion King looks like it's going to be really good.
But it's also a kids movie, where Star Wars is. I mean, Star Wars kids go see, but it's not a kids movie.
No, it's a family movie. Like, it's for everybody. Like, everyone can go see Star Wars. You don't even have to have kids, and you can go see. And in fact, like, I know tons of guys. I'm a part of this like collecting group on Facebook, and it's like mostly guys with no kids, like mostly like older dudes with no kids. So it's like
NECA groups are all like millennials and 30-year-olds.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. If I didn't have kids, I would still be seeing Lion King. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I don't know. It is going to be interesting to see how this affects the movie business, because, and this could be where I might agree with the negative side of the argument. It could knock some other studios that don't have those means out of contention.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So like a smaller studio, like IFC Films, or like an independent studio in general, might have much more trouble putting a movie out than they already have, and they already have a ton of trouble putting a movie out. So I don't know that I like that from the artist's perspective. But in terms of Disney, like, go get your money. I get it. If it were Universal or anyone else, they'd be doing the same thing. Except they can't, because they don't have a franchise.
Yeah, they don't have an entity that can pull that kind of money. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with the points you're making. And like I said, my biggest thing was just making sure. And like you said, they are sort of one and the same now. But I just know people are so quick to jump on the like, let's hate on Lucasfilm, train, where it's really
to do with George Lucas. I agree with you there. I mean, Lucasfilms I could see hating on, but George Lucas, you need to leave alone at this point.
Yeah, at this point, just leave him alone. Like, he's done
donating his time and money to people who need it. Like,
exactly.
Being a saint in his real life.
Just being super charitable. Like, there's no need to say anything bad about him at all at this point.
Yeah, and may as well canonize him.
Yeah, right? That would be amazing. But, so yeah, there was, I don't know if you talked much about it last week, and sorry, everyone, I was very not, you can still kind of hear it in my voice a bit. I was not feeling well at all last week, and I just straight, slept almost all day, because I was not feeling well. So, but I'm back. I'm feeling much better now. Still a little bit under the weather, but I'm definitely feeling way better than I was last week. In between now and then we've gotten, and I can't remember if this happened last week on Wednesday. I think it was literally on Wednesday that it happened, but we got an international trailer.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
For the last year. Oh, okay. So what did you think about it? What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Do you think it revealed anything new? Did we get any new information, or was it just pretty much just another trailer?
I mean, this is the point where they're going to release a bunch of stuff. Like, so the first trailer reveals more than any other trailer, I think, traditionally. I think that this is the point where the trailers will start to reveal nothing, but make you feel like they're revealing, like, a ton. And I think that this is that point where the trailers are, like, faking you out. I do think that it was cool. Like, you got to see some cool stuff. All I am is stoked. Like, I just want to see the movie. I did see Blade Runner in IMAX a couple weeks ago.
Oh, how was that?
And I got to see, it was real good, but I got to see the trailer for Star Wars on the IMAX screen.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. So I am stoked to try and go see it in IMAX at some point. But no, it was a cool trailer. We talked about it, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't feel like it did that much more than the other trailer.
No.
It was just like a here you go type thing. I think we'll see more in the little 15-second TV teasers during like football games now than we will from a trailer like that.
Right. I mean, the one thing I got out of the trailer, wasn't even necessarily that I pulled new information from it, but while I was watching this new international trailer, I was thinking to myself back to like the thoughts I was having when I saw the Force Awakens trailer, and like all the different types of theories I was putting together off of that trailer, and then I was remembering like watching the actual movie and how completely wrong. And there was that one specific line I remember from the trailer where Maz Kanata was like, "Oh, I've seen the same look in different eyes
Right,
before or something like that.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh my God!" Like she's talking about this or that or the other, or Rey's parentage or Finn's parentage, or Rey's related to Han and this and that, and literally it had nothing to do with any of that at all. It was it was like such a like it didn't have anything to do. So like I keep thinking to myself like, is this trailer like this? And it has to be because it's Disney and it's Lucasfilm, and not only that, but it's the movies, like it's film, like and it's set in it's modern day film, and we're very used to the film industry at this point and how they operate and like the equation they use to get you into the theater. And
it's a fake out, man.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like everything that we're seeing in this trailer,
it's all red herrings.
It's being taken out of context. Like it's being taken completely out of context. Like
it's all stuff you're gonna see in the first 2 minutes of the movie, and it's gonna mean nothing, and then the rest of it's gonna be like, wait, what's happening? It'll be just like the Force Awakens trailer, like Finn going, and that didn't matter at all. So I don't know. We'll see. And remember, in the Force Awakens trailers too, you had Luke talking, which doesn't happen in the movie. So there might be stuff happening in the trailers that don't even exist in the movie. So we'll see. I do have a renewed appreciation for where Mark Hamill was coming from when he was doing all those tweets where he was saying, wait for the movie as opposed to watching the trailers. I mean, I wish I could do that with Star Wars. I care too much about the trailers to do that, but that would be awesome if I could, because I feel a little bit like not like I know too much or anything, just like it would be really cool to go in there totally blind.
Yeah, I was thinking that, where it was like, if it wasn't for like my dedication to making sure like when we're on Talking Sith, we like know what we're talking about.
We know what we're talking about. Exactly.
And we can keep everybody like informed. Like if it wasn't for that, then I probably would have gone that same route, because I didn't regret watching the trailer at all. It was really good, and honestly, like, I try to say to myself, like, oh, it's because of Talking Sith, but really, like, I probably would have watched it anyway.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I probably would have watched it. And,
I might try to do that for, like, a Marvel movie at some point, but Star Wars, I can't
it's just
do it. Like, if I was on Facebook and someone posted it, I would have to click it. Like, I just don't have that option.
Exactly. It's just like, it's because it's Star Wars, and it is what it is. It's just hard to like ignore that stuff. So I was thinking the same thing. Like, all right, maybe I'll try to like limit like the information I'm taking in, so that way I can go in it in like a more fresh way. But honestly, like, I don't know if it's necessarily like I said, I don't think that we got any major details that are going to be like, oh man, they just gave away this huge thing. Like, however, I just think the overall feel of the movie and the overall like, like the character struggles and what they might be going through. I think Mark Hamill's thing was almost like, don't watch it because the guesses that you're going to make about what's going to happen are going to be so far off that you're going to be like almost probably disannoyed. Like, yep.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that it kind of makes me nostalgic for when we were kids, and like trailers weren't an option. If you wanted to see a trailer, you had to go see a movie at the theater and hope that they played the preview you wanted to see.
That's true,
you didn't really see previews, so the only way to experience a trailer for something was on the big screen, and that was kind of, its own experience. So I don't know that I love this new era. It's kind of like getting a Marvel movie every 3 months, but I also am just irrecoverably like addicted to this modern era, where I have no choice but to just take in as much as I can at all times.
That's very true.
One thing I won't do is any sort of like leaks, like especially with music. The artist intends for something to release when they intend to release it. So I feel like that's part of the experience. A lot of times, especially Weezer, a lot of times a leak will post and people are apt to want to share it. That's not my cup of tea, because the band wants it out at a certain time. That's why they picked that day. So I don't do that, but other than that, trailers, I don't know that I can say no to them. Even for a movie I don't really care about. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I definitely checked out the a little bit of the promo material that's been going around for the DC movie, and it's almost like for
Man, that's
Oh
gonna be
gosh,
so bad.
not the Avengers. Why am I thinking the Avengers?
Justice League.
The Justice League.
Trash.
Yeah, I am not excited for that movie. Like, it's gonna be not very great. And like, I keep trying to like watch promo material and like watch like to try to get myself excited for it, to be like, all right, maybe this will be cool. Like, maybe I'll see something in a trailer that's gonna like blow me away.
I did see one cool thing, but it wasn't cool enough to make me go pay money to see it.
Right.
But I think that was the point, is that they were trying to make me want to.
Yeah.
When Batman shows up and they're doing the bat signal and they play the original music from Batman, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
but
pretty
other
cool.
Than that, not at
but
all.
like you said, it wasn't enough to make me want to go see the movie.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna pay money
not
for it.
honestly, like at this point, if rest in peace. But if if we still had Adam West alive, I would probably go see. I'd probably go see a remake of his Batman way quicker than I would go see this new like DC.
I think Ben Affleck's a really good Bruce Wayne and a really good Batman. I just think that these movies are terrible.
Yeah,
so
the movies are just bad.
Like,
and he doesn't even think the movies are good. he doesn't even like the movies.
I'm not doing this anymore. So, and he's a big comic nerd. And I mean, he's kind of a jerk in real life, we're learning, as we are about a lot of people. But that doesn't mean he's not a comic nerd. So, I'm not interested in it. I wish I could say I was. I haven't even seen Thor yet, and it's interesting because I haven't really felt like the itch to go see it.
Yeah, me neither.
I will see it, but you know, I'm just like,
from what I hear, it's way more of a comedy than any of the other ones have been.
Right, exactly. I guess that should be cool already. I don't need to see that again.
True. That's true. That's very true.
We'll see. I will see it. I just, it's just interesting how like fatigued I am of Marvel movies at this point, and I don't want to get to that point with Star Wars. It holds such a special
honestly
place.
Like
I mean, Marvel does too, but it's different.
Yeah, Marvel does too. I think Marvel is a little bit different because like I grew up on half on the comics, half on like cartoons and stuff.
Right.
So
the
like
cartoons are so good.
Yeah, the cartoons were really good. So it was like once the movies started coming out, they were really good, and I mean, I really loved the Spider-Man movies from like back in the day. Like I thought those were awesome. And then the Iron Man movies I thought were really great. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But then when it all started to become meshed into the same universe, and they were doing all this, and they figured out the money grabs that they needed to make to be able to get to where they wanted to go, then it just felt.
Disney gets involved.
Yeah, then once Disney got involved, and we're like, all right, yeah, we're definitely like tripling down on this whole thing that we're going to be doing. So it just became, I don't know, but as far as like, the Last Jedi trailer and like all that, like you said, it's for Star Wars, I feel like the distinction and the difference between that has been Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilms are still super heavily in creative control of Star Wars. So it's not like the Marvel movies where
fans the realm. Like we've talked about it, but like J.J. Abrams is a fan. Like,
yes, that's exactly the point I was making. Is that like they trust it to fans, whereas like I feel like the Marvel movies, they're not 100% always made by like fans of the universe, and you can almost see that. Where it's like Star Wars, we know we can trust whoever's going to be making it because we know Kathleen Kennedy and the execs at Lucasfilm aren't going to put the hands in they're not going to put the film in the hands of somebody who's going to wreck it.
To make the movie.
Exactly. Like they're still doing those like tried and true things that like have made Star Wars what it is. So I'm not necessarily worried about. I'm just more worried about like you said, the fatigue of it, like just getting so much where you're like, all right, but that's going to take a lot of Star Wars for me to get tired of it. Like by the time I get annoyed with Star Wars, it's going to be.
It did happen.
That's true. It did happen
Marvel,
eventually.
And I remember as a kid wanting a Marvel movie and thinking, my God, why can't I just have a Spider-Man movie? And then we finally got one. It was great. We got Fantastic Four. It wasn't so great. We got X-Men. It was great. Like we got all these movies, and now it's like, oh my God. We could take a break. It's not that I don't want to ever see a Marvel movie again. It's that I don't mind you taking your time and making something special. And same thing with Star Wars. I don't mind getting a Star Wars every 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or whatever it is. I just don't want them to rush them and not make them something of an experience, because Star Wars is special not just because it's cool special effects or like a neat story or whatever, but it's like an actual emotional experience, and I think that you can lose that. And that's probably where Rogue One lost me a little bit, is that it didn't connect to me on that level. It connected to me totally on a movie level, but not on like a, oh my god, I could cry just watching The Crawl, or like.
Do you think that the Han Solo movie might give you that same experience, or do you think because we have those familiar characters will be good?
I do like the characters in Han Solo. I think it's smart to use a familiar character and tell an origin story as opposed to using literally 12 new characters and hoping for the best. But at the same time, I love Han Solo a lot, and part of what I love about him isn't just that he's a cool movie character, it's that whole emotional experience that you get with Han Solo and Harrison Ford. And I just don't know that they can recreate that magic that you feel for the first time. Like the first time you see Han and Mos Eisley, and he's doing his little smirk, and he's scratching the wall behind him.
You're immediately like, who the hell is this dude? Like, he is clearly the coolest guy I've ever met in my life. No, you can't. No, you can't recreate that.
And I think that I don't think they'll try to, but I do think that they don't put as much weight on that feeling as we as fans do. And I'm a little nervous about that. It might be funny, and it might be cool, but I don't know that it will have the magic that that Harrison Ford did the first time you saw him on screen. Actually, I can tell you that it won't. And that's a little bit upsetting. I could say that Obi-Wan might do a little bit better if they do make Obi-Wan, but they've got to use Ewan McGregor, and if they don't, they may as well not do it. So,
if they're not using Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan, I really don't understand the point of doing an Obi-Wan film. Like, it's not like I don't want to hear whatever story Obi-Wan got himself into. It's just that
you're just losing the magic.
It just wouldn't make sense to me to like, because it's like I can see like dealing with a young Harrison Ford. Okay, I can deal with that. Like, that makes sense. Harrison Ford is really old now, and he looks really old now. Like, he looks like an older dude. So like you're not going to be able to pull off a young Han Solo with Han Solo. Like, it's not going to work. I'm okay with them going back. However, if you set it in the correct time, you can use Ewan McGregor, like, and he'll be fine, and everyone, and it's going to be easy. But the thing is, it's like, I don't know, man. Like with the Obi-Wan film, it's like they really have to make sure that I'm just worried about the story. That's really all I'm worried about.
Exactly.
Where it's like, are you gonna give
mean,
me something interesting enough that's gonna keep me in the theater? Because it just doesn't seem like there is.
Also ruining the canon. Like,
exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would go see an Obi-Wan movie regardless of whether.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm just saying, if you want to keep the magic, you've got to put him in it, and it's got to be compelling. And I mean, he might not even want to, because I know he said he would come back and direct it or whatever, but he did not like being in Star Wars. Similar to Harrison Ford, he just doesn't like the fans because most of us are jerks. So I think that it might take a little bit for him to come back. But I don't know. I just feel like even episodes 7, 8, and 9, it's great to have them, and I'm, especially Force Awakens was so good that I have high hopes for this one. I just feel like, like I said, if they made a Star Wars movie every 10, 15, 20 years, and put really just love into it and made it everything they wanted it to be, I would be way more stoked about that than I would be about seeing one every 6 months or a year. Yeah,
I mean, I do kind of miss that feeling of, like, I remember... I remember being, like, a kid and my mom freaking out. Like, I'll never forget her freaking out and be like, Chaz, they're making a new Star Wars. And, like, we're like, oh my god, they're making a new Star Wars?
Like making
holy crap.
Special editions.
Yes.
Like, we had them on VHS, and like special editions coming out in 1997. Here we are in like 1992, thinking, "Oh my God, that's going to be incredible."
Yeah.
And then you've got the prequel trilogy get announced, and you're like, "All right, that's probably going to be pretty good." And it's in 7 years. Like, you're just sitting waiting, and you just can't wait. And even though people hate on Phantom Menace and the prequels in general all the time, I mean, no one wasn't there just holding their breath.
I was going to say, like, they can, I mean, exactly, like, people talk, I mean, now we can talk about it because we've seen it, it's happened, and it's been years since those movies have been released. But, like, if we go back to the day before that, like, the Phantom Menace... Yeah, exactly. Like, if you go back to the day before, what were you doing? I guarantee, even if you're one of those, like...
You were dressed up.
Yup, even if you're one of those prequel boo-hooers, man, you were, like, right there. You were right there when the crawl went up, and you stayed to the end, like, and you got pissy about Jar Jar just like everybody else. Like, you know, like, everybody was there.
To lose that if they keep doing this. Like, they might get it for the main saga stories, but I don't know that you're gonna have people doing that for Rogue One.
Well, I don't want to see an episode 10 for like at least 5 to 6 years.
Oh no, way more than that.
Like, I'd really like to wait a while.
Honestly, like,
do you want to see like the Skywalker storyline, like, pretty much?
That's Star Wars. That's like saying I want a Darth Vader movie. All the Star Wars movies are there for me.
Well, I just mean, do you want to see like that Skywalker storyline eventually come to an end with Episode 9, and then like
I wouldn't mind
done with it,
there being a clear ending to the trilogy. Because remember, every time a trilogy ends with Star Wars, you think that's it. Like Jedi ends, you're like, cool, Star Wars is a great trilogy. And then you're like, oh my god, we're getting 3 more. So Revenge of the Sith ends, and you're like, okay, that was a great saga. So, I mean, you never feel like you're going to get more. I don't want to, if we are going to get a 10, 11, 12, or whatever, I don't want to know that before the end of Episode 9. I want to go into Episode 9 thinking that's the last Star Wars we're ever going to get. Because I don't need the anticipation. Now, if they do announce other ones, they can announce them in 3s. Like, if, like, 10 years from now they say, by the way, we're going to make another Star Wars, then I would expect them to say it's going to be a trilogy. I just, I don't know. I don't need it every, you know, if a new trilogy comes out when my kid is like in his 30s, I would be fine with that.
That would be awesome.
Have 0 issue. But if it comes out in like 2020, I'd be like, come on, guys. Like,
I won't be happy with that. I would like some time in between trilogies.
The originals without like the special editions on Blu-ray, or re-release, you know, the prequels with better CGI or higher def, you know, visuals or something like that. I wouldn't mind anything like that. All the special editions they want. You know, 50th anniversary in 2027, great. Or which will probably be crazy, by the way. Or like, you know, a TV series on Netflix or something. All that stuff is fine. I just don't need a new saga movie or even a new saga trilogy every 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, I agree with what Harrison Ford said when he heard this new trilogy was coming out, which he was basically like, why? And then I was like, all right, now that I see what they're doing, okay, awesome, I really like it. But after this, like you said, I really don't want to see a trilogy for a while, like a main trailer. Like, the offshoot stories have been great, but even after 9, I don't even want to see any more of those, really. Like, I'd like to take a real decent break from Star Wars.
Take it in. Like, Star Wars is, for a lot of people, it's a religious experience, and you need time to digest it and emotionally experience
and everything that we're getting, like you said, it's a lot right now, because even like if you're trying to keep up with everything, like, so if you're one of those people who are like me, who I love like knowing what the canon is, so I try to read the books, I try to do the comics, but it's a lot right now. Like, it's a lot to do. Even Star Wars Rebels is on right now, so between Star Wars Rebels being on, all the books, all the comics, it's a lot to digest. So it's like, give us some time in between all this material so we can like really like digest it.
Even in the 90s, you would get like a comic every once in a while, but it's not like you were getting a comic every week either, or a book. Like, there were different series, and Zahn would release a book every once in a while, but it wasn't like, hey, you know, finish this book because you got to finish it now before the new one comes out. It was, you know, a time to experience it, and like I said, almost, I don't want to put more weight on it than it actually has, but for a lot of people, Star Wars means a lot of things, and it can be close to what religion means to some people. And
I am one of those people who it borders on.
Discount.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, for me, it borders on that because, I mean, it's an everyday thing for us. Like, every day, I'm either talking about Star Wars, involving myself in Star Wars in some way, like reading, watching something.
No, you're almost like an evangelist. Like,
and it's like,
I'll argue with someone who talks trash on George Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
Like someone would argue about me for talking trash on
dude. On, like, their Lord and Savior. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, but, just real quick, I wanted to go through the comments because I did see all of a sudden we got people popping up. I didn't want to ignore everybody. Hi, everyone.
What's up, guys?
Thanks for stopping by. We really, really appreciate it. I see a couple new names, so thanks for stopping by, guys. That's super appreciated. We always love when we see new people. Just real quick, Erica R says, I want to see Obi-Wan sitting in a cave for 20 years eating beans and watching Luke from afar.
Oh, doesn't everybody? I wouldn't mind watching that movie because at least it doesn't poop on the canon, and you can use Hugh McGregor. That would be fine with me. What I don't want to see is Obi-Wan, like, hanging out with some Twi'lek and getting it on. Like, that's not how
that doesn't
Obi-Wan
sound. Yeah, that doesn't sound. I don't really want to see a. I don't know if I want to see a love story with Obi-Wan because I just don't
I definitely
feel.
do not.
That's not him. That's not him. Like that doesn't seem like Obi-Wan.
You can't do it without ruining him as a character.
Yeah. Let's see. Iden Versio is a. Oh, is Iden Versio a hero in Star Wars Battlefront 2? Someone wants to know. I don't know if Iden Versio is a playable hero in Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I don't know either. I know that she's the focal point of the campaign.
Yeah.
But that's about
I could
all
see
I
her
know.
being like a
I'm still
DLC
downloading.
character over time.
Yeah,
Like,
I could too. The
definitely.
game's still installing for me, and otherwise I'll tell you for sure later. But
Yeah.
right now I have no idea. I figure we would have seen something on it though.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything yet at all, and I'm convinced that if she is going to be in the game, she's going to be in the game as a DLC character. It'll be like maybe like, you know, some like surprise thing like that we get, like, oh, you know, first month of the game being out, here's some awesome DLC, and it'll be that. So, yeah, so I don't know. That's something that we don't know if it's been confirmed, but so far, I don't think that she's in the game as a hero. So, no on that one. And let's see what else.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Jar Jar Binks is dead, I believe. Actually, he's alive. He just got banished from his community, and basically is a party clown for kids. That was in.
Well,
I think.
He dies post episode 3, though.
Does he?
He does, because remember, alright, we've talked about this, I think, but remember how Force Awakens, no, Force Unleashed, sorry, was such a huge deal because it was, like, Lucas read the script and signed off on it as canon. And it was the first video game in forever to get that sort of stamp of approval.
Right.
So it was like a huge deal. And in that game, one of the ships, like one of the Star Destroyers you're on, I think it's Vader's, has Jar Jar Binks dead, frozen in carbonite as like a trophy on the wall. You have to like pay attention to see it, but it's there.
Yes.
So he's dead post episode 3.
I don't know. Is that still canon? Did that get thrown out?
Well, nothing is still canon, but but it was canon.
Yeah. From what I read. Now don't get me wrong. He still may be dead. Like this was kind of just like an excerpt from the book that said kind of what he was up to. They didn't say anything after that, so he could by all means still be dead. Like it still is a possibility. So, but yeah, so. I would say I'm gonna go with Adam on this one. According to what we know from the canon, if you play The Force Unleashed, sorry, I almost said The Force Awakens. If you play The Force Unleashed, yeah, it's in that game. If you haven't played The Force Unleashed, those are really good games. And even though I don't know if they are canon anymore, and like Adam said, nothing's really canon anymore. If it was before the Disney takeover. If you haven't got a chance to play those, they still hold up pretty well. They're still pretty good games as far as like actual gameplay goes, but just the storyline is pretty good.
Whatchamacallit too, the one where you can play games on demand.
They are on PlayStation
at least one
now.
Of them is on that.
I know that. I'm pretty sure they all are because I wanted to play the Sith, the Sith, was it the Sith version?
Edition?
Or the Sith edition. They had the Sith edition available.
That was so sick.
Yeah, that was a really sick game. That was a really sick game.
Lightsabers and stuff. That game was fun, and they just recently put up KOTOR 1 on Xbox One backwards compatibility. So if you want to play KOTOR, you can play it on Xbox One. And if you haven't played KOTOR, take it from me, you want to play KOTOR. It's
it's incredible. I have it on my computer, and I replay it pretty regularly. Like when I have some time between games and I'm just messing around, I go back and replay it like a lot.
If it weren't for Mass Effect, KOTOR would maybe be my favorite game of all time.
I agree with that.
Same developer as Mass Effect, so I mean they've never made a bad game.
No, they have not once.
Yeah.
No, never, ever have they made a bad game.
Have you seen those articles about, I don't know how you feel about it, or if you've seen it, about people who are recommending waiting on purchasing Battlefront 2 because EA has teased that they're going to price drop it in December for Christmas?
I did not hear about that.
If you just wait a month to play it, you don't get to play it right away. But if you wait a month, you get it for $20 off. I mean, my counterpoint was just get it on Amazon. If you have Prime, you get 20% off anyway. But as long as you pre-order it. But I didn't know what you thought about that, because I don't know that I could wait. But if it were a game that I personally
can't wait. Yeah, I personally can't wait. However, I don't think it's smart business sense to say that you're gonna do a price drop before the game comes out. That had to be a leak, because I don't know why they would say that. Because it's like, well, right, then because like you said, if it wasn't like, so if like Call of Duty was like, all right, during Christmas time, it's gonna be like $30 cheaper, then I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna wait. Not that I got it anyway, but like if I was gonna pick it up, like, and I knew that it was gonna be, you know, cheaper,
Call of Duty is a good example, because the new one apparently is really good, and I do want to play the campaign. I just know that when Battlefront comes out, that's it for me. So I might get Call of Duty in like February if it's, you know, $30 or something. But my counterpoint to that would be that me not knowing if it's going to be $30 in February wouldn't motivate me to not wait until February anyway. Whereas with Battlefront 2, like, if I didn't care about Battlefront, I don't know that I would wait till December regardless of the price. You know what I mean? If I cared about shooters, I would just get it now. So I guess if you're like a parent who's going to get it for your kid, maybe you would wait. But that's not the Battlefront audience, really. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I couldn't wait. I wouldn't be able to wait. Like, I know personally I couldn't wait to wait till December. However, if you do plan on waiting to December, it's like, I mean, obviously I understand wanting to get the game for cheaper. Games are expensive, and there's a lot of decent games out right now. Hashtag go check out Assassin's Creed Origins. If you have not played Assassin's Creed Origins, go check it out. It's really good. Wolfenstein 2, oh my god. Dude, that game is amazing. That game's incredible. Go check those games out.
It's bad.
There's a lot of good games out right now.
I don't even buy games anymore, and it's still bad for me to even think about. I have games, you know, pre-ordered that I haven't picked up yet, and it's hard. But I think that I personally don't care. I agree with you that if EA did release that intentionally, that was dumb.
That was not a very smart move.
It doesn't really matter to me, I guess is.
And I know, so I know you've had, because we have a little bit more time left, real quick, guys, in the chat room, Erica is here as our savior and our moderator, so chill out, or she will moderate the heck out of you, y'all. She will moderate the snot out of you. Yeah, they're being dumb. You guys aren't being dumb. You're our favorite, and we love our fans. However, don't be dumb on the chat. Even the dumb ones, but don't be dumb on the chat, because that's why we have Erica. She'll straight regulate you, son.
Thanks, Erica.
Thanks for regulating.
We'll get you something for Christmas.
But yeah, I was just real quick before we go. I know we were messaging back and forth a little bit about it, but you have some early access to the game right now because you have EA access
on my Xbox. Yep. So I've been playing the beta. I almost said the beta. That's not true. It's the game. However, it's large and in charge. It's like over 50 gigs. So I didn't remember that today was the day. So I worked today. I came home and I was sitting on the couch playing Pokemon and watching Kirby Enthusiasm. And then you said, hey, do you guys have EA access? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty excited to play it on Tuesday. And I was like, wait, that's not Tuesday. That's today. It's Tuesday for Death Trooper edition of PS4. So I logged into my Xbox, crossing my fingers that it pre-installed, and it did not pre-install. So I installed it, and it's taking forever. So when it got to like 24%, it was like ready to play. So I started playing, but it wasn't the full game yet. It's only arcade mode because it's not fully downloaded. So I have been running around. The arcade mode level is Starkiller base, and you have to play First Order. So I was running around as the different classes of Stormtrooper. And then the hero in the arcade mode is Kylo Ren. So I was murking some bots as Kylo Ren. And then I tried out the Jump Trooper. I tried out every class, and I tried out Kylo Ren. The classes are the same as the beta, so it's specialist, assault, officer, and heavy. And I didn't notice too many significant differences.
Yeah.
The biggest difference is sniper or specialist.
Mhm.
So he had an attachment which was basically an EE4, where he was hidden from enemy radars, and also he could see people on his radar. And then he had an EE4 instead of a sniper, and the EE4, every time you got a kill with it, reset the cooldown for that perk.
Oh, okay.
So it was broken. Like, you could run around basically in perma-cloak with an EE4, which is one of the best guns in the game. So it was like, oh my god. And that's dramatically different, at least in the arcade mode. I'll tell you for sure later tonight whether it's true online as well. But in the arcade mode, it's the same perk, but without the insta cooldown. So if you're running around with that perk on with the EE4 and you get a kill, the clock doesn't reset. It still just keeps counting down. So it's not like a permanent perk as it was in the beta, because it was pretty easy to keep the streak going while using that perk. You never really lost the perk. Whereas now the clock just keeps ticking regardless of whether you keep your streak going or not. So it's nerfed in that way, at least in arcade mode. I will tell you for sure whether it is online. It's probably fully downloaded now, so I'll play it after the stream, and I'll post on our Facebook about it. But
nice.
Yeah. What I can tell you for sure is that Kylo Ren is freaking nasty. He is so good.
He's so excited to play him.
He has a block, whereas Darth Maul doesn't. So Darth Maul can die pretty quick. And yeah, he's just,
now
he's so
what
good.
the statement that you made that I was surprised by was that you said it was the best
in either Battlefront.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said you like playing him more than any hero in either game so far.
I don't know that I like him more. He's just
right. He's just
broken.
the most powerful so far that you've seen.
No question.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not even a debate. So I'm trying to think, who would you say the most overpowered characters from Battlefront 1? Because Battlefront 1's pretty balanced.
I was gonna say at first
totally balanced.
it wasn't as balanced, but I mean it's become way more balanced now as as time's gone on. I would say like at first I felt like Boba was pretty intense. Like Boba Fett
his wrist rocket was a one hit.
Yeah, his wrist rocket was a one hitter at first, and it was basically like when the game first came out, if you played as Boba Fett, you were getting like a guaranteed kill streak, like guaranteed.
Oh, you were going on 70. Like if you were good, I remember watching Jared play as Boba Fett. It wasn't even fun. Like he was going on like a 75 kill streak without dying.
Just wrecking people.
Yeah, and you could kind of do that with Bosk towards the end, I guess, if you were good.
That's true.
To be good. It wasn't like Bosk was broken.
I would say Bosk takes more skill.
Is probably the most powerful character though, because he can regen health.
That's true, yeah.
But Kylo Ren poops on it. Kylo Ren is, he can block, he's super duper fast, he has a pull move which has like a cone of vision and pulls everyone within that cone, and the pull is an insta-kill. It's not just a force pull like in Mass Effect, it's like it pulls them and kills them while they're flying. And then his right bumper is a freeze thing where anyone in that same cone of vision can't move for a few seconds. So you can freeze everyone, and then you can just slice and dice. And then
that's gonna be epic, man.
His both bumpers together is like a flurry mode. I haven't mastered it yet, but I imagine it's nasty just based on the description. And that is where if you run into like a horde of bad guys, he goes into this like crazy frenzy and bounces from bad guy to bad guy, just slashing the whole way. He's broken. I will say the one thing I was like a little bit like, oh man, was that in the movie, seeing Force Awakens in the theaters, I was like blown away by how powerful Kylo Ren sounded. Like the sound mixing on him was really cool.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
The Force, it sounds really cool. Like it's like,
it sounds different.
And then his lightsaber sounds like super heavy. Like you can feel his lightsaber in your chest, like a bass drum or something.
Oh yeah.
And
not to mention, I think he has probably in the newest movie. I love his theme music like more than anyone's. His theme music is awesome.
Yeah, but his lightsaber doesn't sound that like, you know what I mean? Just that you can't get over it type of sound. I didn't get that feeling from the game, which bothers me just slightly because if there's one thing I love about this game, it's that the sound is so immersive. Like the sound makes you feel like you're in the movies, and I just didn't get that from his saber. And I don't want to read too much into it, but I definitely didn't feel like, oh my god, I'm Kylo Ren from the sound, which I was hoping I would feel. Now, when he slashes around, it's pretty cool because he slashes really fast, and he can like slice up the wall. So I was like slashing against the wall, doing that. Basically, when he smashes up all the computers, like he makes the same motion and everything.
Oh my god, that's hilarious!
So that was pretty funny. And his hood is up, which is kind of cool. He's super badass. He's really fast.
I can't wait to see the different skins we're gonna get for him.
Yeah, me too. And he can block, which is cool. Because Darth Maul is also overpowered, except with no block. So,
except without that block, which gives him that like little bit of a weakness. So I'm wondering, like, Kylo's got. You said Kylo has like a low like health pool. Like his health isn't like.
Not
you
low.
felt like
he
he died
about
quicker.
as quickly as Darth Maul.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like. And remember, I wasn't playing competitively either. So
That's
it's not like I was playing with people who were better than me. I was playing against a bunch of bots. I was playing on the hardest mode, but that doesn't mean anything. So. So it was not that he died, like had no health. It was that he just didn't last long when he was taking bullets to the face. But nobody should. That's how you balance the game. But I definitely felt like Darth Maul, where Darth Maul dies quick if you stand still. But to balance that, he can move like nobody's business. Kylo can move, just nothing like Darth Maul, but he can block, which Darth Maul cannot do.
Right, that's true. That's gonna be a big game changer. Like I'm excited to see the difference between all the heroes, when we take them into like the hero versus villain mode, because then those like differences of like who can block, who can't, who can like heal themselves, who can't, all this other stuff. Well, they can all heal themselves, but like all the heroes' differences are gonna mean so much more when we're pitting up against each other. And then like when we're in those like battle moments where it's like when I was playing when I did get a chance to play as Darth Maul, I didn't get many chances too. That was like the one thing with the game. I felt like I didn't get to touch on the heroes as much as I wanted to during the beta. But the time that I did get to play with him, I absolutely loved being in like if I was in a small space with a ton of other troopers, I was loving it because then you just like slash through everybody and it felt really good. But then when I had him like outside or something, or like even in that big hall where it was a big open space, you were done. Like you were just toast. Like there was no way to block it.
Was good.
Han was awesome. I only got to play as Han once, but I really enjoyed playing as Han. I think I got to play as Chewie briefly, and it wasn't even long enough to really get a feel. So Chewie, I didn't really get a feel for at all.
But it wasn't even Chewie though, was it? Wasn't it just like a regular Wookiee? Because there was only
That's
Rey,
true.
Han,
It was just like a regular Wookiee. Yeah, that's true. It was just like
but
some
that was
Wookiee.
Good. The Wookiee class was good, but I think Han was my favorite. I don't think I got to play Boba Fett, and if I did, it was only for like one life. Rey was good, but I think Han was probably the best hero, I want to say, from the beta, at least in my opinion. But Kylo Ren, like I said, Kylo Ren is real good. He doesn't have a roll, so his like roll mechanic kind of just dash slides to the side, like Sora or something. And then if you hold down his jump, he kind of has a floaty jump like Darth Vader does in Battlefront 1.
Nice.
But he's nasty. I mean, he's just so good. He's going to be really good against big groups of people. The other interesting thing, though, is that in arcade mode, it's like 75 bad guys in one room. Whereas online, that never happens. Online, you might run into 2 guys at once. So I wonder how Kylo Ren will be in like a big spread out room with one guy in one corner and another guy in another. But in terms of the arcade mode, he's just... everyone just lines up for you, basically. He's so good. I'm really excited to mess around with him some more, and I want to try some of the other heroes. I'm interested to see what they get, and that's what I was going to say earlier with the waiting till December argument. So I'm interested because we're not getting a season pass. We know that. We know that the DLC is free, and we know that it's timed. I'm curious to see whether some of it is limited. So like you get Finn, but he's gone November 17th or something like that. And if that's the case, then I would never wait till December. Like, if you can only play as Han in November, or like, you know what I mean, or like a certain map or gun or something like that, maybe you can use the gun after November's over, but you can only unlock it in November. That kind of thing would be a reason to not wait to play it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I mean, the only reason why I would say, like, if you want this game but you want to spend less money on it, I don't know if it's worth that, because you're going to be missing out on quite a bit of gameplay. And not to mention, think about, like, this is all we're going to really have to, like, hold us over until Last Jedi. And I mean, this is, it's something new, it's something fun, and it could definitely occupy all your time, if you have that much time. It could occupy your time while you're waiting. So I mean, that's really good. That's really exciting.
I agree with that. I like you said, if you're a Star Wars fan, you don't have anything else to do, so you may as well. And if you're a shooter fan, I could see it, but like I said, if you want it for cheap, you should have pre-ordered it on Amazon Prime. And like, I got the special edition for less than the regular edition costs full retail. Like, just get Prime and pre-order stuff. It's 20% off. I can't say that enough. But, It is really. It's going to be one of those things where your friends are going to be playing it, and it'll be like when you tell yourself, "I'm not buying Call of Duty. I'm not buying Call of Duty." And then Modern Warfare 3 comes out, and literally everyone on your friends list is playing Modern Warfare 3.
So you get it.
You're like, all right, I guess I'll go buy it.
Yeah, I guess I better go get it now. Yeah.
or
exactly.
Or it's, still $60. So there's no point. You know you're gonna play it. You may as well buy it. If you're not gonna play it now, you're not gonna play it in December either.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's what I was thinking too. Whereas if you don't really want this right away, like the only people I could see going to like hold off to get it who might have gotten it before are like maybe parents who are like, oh, I'll wait till it's a cheaper price and I can get it for Christmas. But then they were probably going to get it around that time anyway to begin with. But all I know is that like I know like Battlefront 2 from what we've played, from what we've seen, and now hearing more about Kylo Ren, I can't be more. I'm more stoked for this game than I am for any other game that's come out this year. And like I said, there are some really good games that came out this year. I mean, really good games like that came out this year.
I think even objectively, not as a Star Wars fan, it's one of those games to be more excited about than most games. Like, it's just a better shooter than a lot of games that are out. And I mean, Wolfenstein kind of snuck up on people and is really good, but Destiny isn't what some people wanted it to be, and I wasn't stoked anyway. Call of Duty's apparently really good, but if you're not 12, then it doesn't matter.
I'm having a really hard time like wanting to buy the new Call of Duty game, and it's really not. It's really not because of like the Call of Duty thing. It's just that I've watched a little bit of gameplay of it, and it just doesn't look very polished. Like, it just doesn't...
No, I'm literally only interested in the campaign. I have heard firsthand that the campaign is one of the prettier current-gen games out there.
Nice.
But online, I get that feeling, too, where it feels muddy. And, I don't know. I would play the campaign, but I'm not going to spend $60 on a 4-hour World War II game. Like I'd rather... wait and play the crap out of Battlefront and Pokemon for now.
Yeah, I agree. So I like I said, a lot of good games coming out this year, guys. The best one, however, from my standpoint, is definitely going to be Star Wars Battlefront 2. We definitely are going to be streaming as much as we can in between now and then. I apologize that we have not been as active streaming lately. I switched jobs recently, and I'm kind of Adam's working. Adam just switched jobs recently, and I'm pretty sure Jared just picked up a new job, right?
Right. He's training for a gig that neither of us could ever dream of getting. So
that's awesome.
He's like an adult.
That's awesome.
It has been tough. He's only missed these last 2 episodes because of training, though. I think he's planning on being back next week. And next week, we'll all be playing Battlefront 2 because it'll be out for the Hardened edition, for the Death Trooper edition on Tuesday, right? So we'll all be playing it.
That's
Do you have it pre-downloaded?
Yeah, I have it. I think PS4. I don't know if we can start pre-downloads yet.
It started yesterday, so
Oh, did it start yesterday?
already.
Oh, okay, so I
Yeah.
guess we started. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get my pre-download taken care of. But yeah, definitely. Just real quick, I just wanted to talk to you guys real quick, specifically, some of the people who have been with us since the beginning. Thank you, really appreciate it. Like I said, I know we slowed down a little bit, but I have a baby on the way. Adam's little boy just turned 1. We just got a lot of stuff going on. Like, we're just super adulting right now, so it's just really hard to focus all our time 100% on this, obviously. So we try to put as much effort into it as we can. Thank you for being patient with us and sticking with us and being here every week. We really appreciate that. However, I do want to say, let me just answer this question real quick. Would I rather be Dengar Emperor in Battlefront 1? I would rather be Emperor, no matter what the situation is, because I love the Emperor.
Dengar.
Dengar's nasty, but I love the Emperor.
Yeah. Dengar's got a sweet gun, and the Emperor can shoot you from 20 feet away. So
yeah, exactly.
Dengar all day.
That's true. I like that the Emperor is way faster than I thought he was going to be in the game, though. Like, in the game, I feel like he's so quick. It's weird to watch him. He like goes so fast. Yeah, it's hilarious.
He does his little screechy corkscrew like in Revenge of the Sith, and I just want to gouge my eyes out.
Yeah.
If you want to play with someone who loves the Emperor, my friend Michael used to, when we play until like 4 o'clock in the morning, he used to like play as the Emperor, and then like he would take a million pictures with his cell phone of his TV screen from different angles of the Emperor, and just send them all to us throughout the night.
Yeah.
He'd get a text at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It would just be the Emperor like in a crotch shot, or like the Emperor from like the head down. It was so weird.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I do like the Emperor. I just Dengar's way better.
Yeah, Dengar is nasty. I mean, I will say, like, if it comes to like who I'd rather play as, like, realistically, like, I'd much rather play as Dengar just because he's better. But like, I mean, just for fun's sake, like, I play Battlefront 1 for fun. Like, I play without any competitive edge whatsoever. Like, I try to get kills if I can, but really it's just to be in the universe. And like, I used to really do most of my playing while I had my audiobooks going, and I'd listen to the audiobooks as I played, because it would kind of just put me in the realm even more. So like, that's really what Battlefront 1 is to me. It's not really something that's like super competitive. However, you can pretty much bet, like, if I'm making a choice for Battlefront 2, it's definitely going to be for like competitive edge. Like, I want to be good at Battlefront 2. Like, I want to be decent at that game, because I'm excited for it. But yeah, guys, that's just about our time for the night. I want to let you guys know who have been frequenting our chat. Erica will throw that ban hammer down real hard, for sure, and I give her full permission to ban the people that she wants to ban. So please be respectful. We don't have a lot of rules here, but the one main thing that we really try to push home is that this is about Star Wars. We talk about Star Wars. We love Star Wars. We play Battlefront in the background because we need something to do while we talk about Star Wars, but this is a Star Wars channel where we talk about Star Wars. That's why we're here. Secondly, make sure you're being respectful when you're in the chat, because if you're not, like, we do this for fun, and that's 100% the only reason why we do it. We do it because we enjoy it, and it's a nice reprieve from the week. We get to talk about Star Wars, and it's typically maybe the only time that me and Adam might talk throughout the week, so it's nice to just be able to chat and that thing, and that kind of thing. So we really do enjoy doing this, but when we have to sit and look at the chat to make sure you guys just aren't being idiots, to just be as layman as possible, it makes it not fun for us. Like, and that's why I made Erica a moderator, so that way she can keep you guys in check, because it was becoming irritating for us to have to constantly keep up with the chat and tell you guys, hey, can you stop this, can you stop that, can you not do this? That's not why we're here. We're here to have fun. We give away prizes because we want to create a community in which we can all sit and talk about Star Wars and enjoy what we all love. So just keep that in mind for next time we come around. Next time we talk,
more kind than I would have put it.
Yeah, I just put it very nicely. Like, just don't be jerks, guys. Like, just don't be jerks. Like, that's really all it comes down to. Just don't be jerks. But like I said, we appreciate every single person that's been with us from the beginning. We really love that, that you guys still check in every week to see what we're up to. Next week, we'll be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, yeah? I'm pretty sure.
Hell yeah, we will.
Next week we'll be on Star Wars
totally.
Battlefront 2. So next week, yeah, right. So next week, that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to be doing. So please join in because it's going to be awesome. Like we'll probably.
I forgot to ask you a question that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, so, what's up?
Research it this week, but I'll ask you next week. Have you seen anything about a movie called American Jedi?
I heard a little bit about it, but I haven't. That's it. I've just heard the title, and that's it.
Dude, go look into it because I got questions for you.
We'll have to talk about that next week then. So we're gonna be
about people who treat Jediism as a legitimate,
Oh yeah, I saw a little bit. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I didn't watch the video, but I did see I did read the quick blurb or whatever. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it because it looked really interesting. We'll have to talk about that next week too.
It's something, and I mean, I consider myself a pretty normal dude, and I make fun of people on a regular basis, and those guys they're into it, man. You cannot bash them for not being bought into Star Wars, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
They were 100%. But yeah, definitely, we should talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. And like I said, guys, we'll be playing the game next week as well. Don't expect us to be talking about, because we're going to take a special episode to talk about the story mode. So, and I want to let people get a chance to play it before we talk about it. So don't expect us to be talking about the story mode next week, because we're going to, even if we've played it.
Talk about it in the comments.
Yeah, don't talk about it in the comments because.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers, none. I might even, if it gets to that point, I might shut the comment section down for that week just because it's extremely important to us that you do not spoil things for other gamers. That's a huge thing for us here. We hate spoilers. So don't spoil anything. If you do get a chance to play it ahead of time, we will have a specific episode where we're going to talk just about that, and we're going to get into it. So no worries, we will tackle that. But other than that, we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Get ready for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Get ready to have all your comments and questions for us about the game ready to go. We might even wind up going a little bit later next week just because we will be playing a new game and it's going to be really fun, and I know we're not going to want to stop and there's going to be a lot to talk about because we're going to want to analyze everything. So we might go a little bit later next week, but either way, join us. We will be there. As always, I am your gracious host, Chaz, joined every week by Adam.
Yo.
And I'm usually joined by Jared, but like I said, we got some training stuff going on. I actually had training myself today, but I worked earlier in the day, so I had some time to make it to here. So we're just all so busy right now, but we still got time for this. So we're really excited, like I said, for everything that's coming up Star Wars, and I'm excited to talk to you guys next week. Just drop us a line throughout the week if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. I don't really care if you have concerns. I'm just kidding. If you have concerns, please let us know. But yeah, questions or comments, please drop a line throughout the week. We've been getting a little bit more of an active comment section going around, so people have been really into our videos and things like that. So awesome. Let us know what's up. Yeah, check out our Facebook too, and our Facebook and Instagram. Those are where we're very active. We're very active on both of those, so please check us out. Death Trooper, it's perfectly okay if you want to leave us. You have caused me nothing but a headache. It's perfectly fine if you want to go, bro. I'm perfectly fine with that. That's me signing off. You guys have a good night.
Later.
Oh, man. Oh, I gotta get like Jared and be quicker with it. He's always off. He's like, oh, signed off, had it ready.
That's what IG is. Oh, what's up?